I kind of went, okay, so what job? Like, tell me about a job. And then after she told me, then I said, how much are they making per hour? Because I'm a numbers person. That's just
Of
a
course,
fact.
numbers have to make sense, of
Yeah.
course,
And she told me, man, she was like, oh, they clocking between 600, 800, 1,000 per day.
per day.
And that caught my attention. I was like, hold on a minute.
Okay, guys, remember how I said we were going to get real life, real time evidence on whether or not this sync skill stuff is real, whether it's a scam, whether it's 419. Well, this is someone that has actually passed through the system. And so he's going to be giving us his actual experience. For the sake of transparency, I actually know Jim. I know him, but I had no idea that he went through sync skills. Jim, did I know that you went through sync skills?
Nah.
Nope. I had no idea. I didn't even know he was in tech now. So I know him and I know that he's going to be giving you legitimate, honest answers. And that's why we've asked the CEO to sign out. We don't want no one on this at all. This is between Jim and I. Okay. So I'm going to be asking Jim a few questions. And Jim, be as honest as possible because people want to know all these things before they put their money into it. You know how it is now. Okay. So my first question is, how did you find out about sync skills? Tell me how you found out about sync skills. Was it through Google? Did you hear about them? Did you know of them before? Let me know.
That's an interesting one. First of all, thank you so much, Jojo. It is amazing to be here. I'm not only excited to be on a pod with you because you've actually promised me a session for a long time, which
We've been talking about it, but we've not.
again, we'll come back to that.
Don't worry, we'll come back to that.
However, the first time I heard about Sync Skill was from a mate. I was in Perth actually doing a Spirit of David concert.
Okay.
So this lady was already doing nursing. She had studied nursing, and she
Mm,
was telling me, "Oh, I'm doing some IT program. I'm looking to get into business analyst. Like I was looking to get into tech." That's what she said. And I looked at her like, "Girl, you're crazy. You're supposed to be working on your PR, and what are you doing with tech? Like,
So she was looking to get into tech from nursing.
from nursing."
Okay.
Exactly. My reaction too. I was like, "Dude." And so she said, no, like this training I'm doing is really helpful. And I'm like, first of all, it didn't make sense to me. So I honestly just shut her down. I was like, you don't even know what you're doing with your life. You're just a lost person. That's just me. Someone else was there and he can attest to this. Like I was totally being judgmental.
Okay.
And I'm a very spiritual person. So obviously I was in a spiritual concert, right? And I just felt the Holy Spirit tell me, listen to this lady. So that morning I told her off. And then at night, after that session,
We're like,
we
come, let's see the come. Tell me more, tell me more.
yeah, I was like, hold on a minute. That thing you mentioned in the morning, let's talk, please. So I was actually in this bit, I was actually trying to like just rip it apart, like show how that doesn't make sense, right? So I asked her, so this tech, tell me, what role are you getting into? And she said, business analyst. I said, okay. So what job are you doing as a business analyst? And she explained it to me. And
Mm,
I said, so what program are you doing to get into this? Because you
mm.
didn't answer it. Like it didn't make sense. And she
Yeah.
went, that program actually shows you everything you need. They teach you this tool, that tool. I'm like, what kind of tool? Like you from nursing, you won't be doing coding and all that. And she said, no. Um, that the program will show you all the materials you need and that give you all the basic information. Now, I've been following this other guy on Instagram, I forgot his name, but he's based in the States and he does a lot of like tech talk about getting into tech and stuff like that. So it's always been sort of at the back of my mind. And I was like, I still wasn't seeing how realistic it was. But
Mhm.
now when she started talking, she's like, even for you, Jim, like you're into different things. You work with a lot of people, like you've done different businesses. I see that it will work well for you. Now, I am trying to prove her wrong for her choices, and now she's suggesting it for me. And I kind of went, okay, so what job? Like, tell me about a job. And then after she told me, then I said, how much are they making per hour? Because I'm a numbers person. That's just a
Of course,
fact.
numbers have to make sense, of
Yeah.
course,
And she told me, man, she was like, oh, they clocking between 600, 800, 1,000 per day.
per day.
And that caught my attention. I was like, hold on a minute.
Mm.
She said that that figure was per day because I knew that was Sunday rate for me at that time. So I was like, now if this is every day, look at it times seven. Like I don't know about you, but that's
Yeah.
some big ones, you know. So I didn't drop on the pro. I asked her the name of the program. She told me. I asked her for the facilitators. She told me, and I just sort of got the names and I put in the back bench.
You've talked about, how you did a few things. You were doing a few things before. What were you doing before? Because I know you were in a certain industry. What were you doing before you switched? Because it's always good, like you've talked about the nurse switching to tech.
Yeah.
So what were you doing before you switched?
Um, a few things, as you know, JJ, I'm everywhere. So firstly, I MC. I'm an MC.
Mhm,
I've worked in the disability sector for
mhm,
a while. I've also worked with like different organization as a team leader and just facilitating their process of going from paper-based stuff to online with their contact center as well. So I've worked with some institutes in Victoria. I run my own business and
mhm,
I've done a few, I did international student recruitment as well. So like I was doing a few things around.
mhm.
Uh, yeah, but primarily like I was doing youth work as well, like disability work. And yeah, that sort of yeah, I don't know if that answers it, but yeah, those
Yeah,
were
because I think it's just I want to highlight the fact that you can come from any background
that's right. Yeah.
with this training. Now, let's get into the actual training. What was your overall experience with Sync Skills? Would you say that they delivered what they promised? And what was your overall experience? Yeah.
Good question. I think the first thing, like, for me, when so after that whole journey of discovering and inquiring, and then getting to act, it was after I've done all that, then I now gave Noah a call. I said, "Hey, man, I've heard about you guys. Like, tell me, and what do you guys do?" And so he ran me through the program and everything, and I already had my preconception. I was like, look, maybe I'll just go in and get the like just the knowledge, and that was it. Like then it was like, oh, we can help you get a job, we can help you with a CV. In my mind, I was like, that's a
Sounds
bit,
too good to be true.
that's like too good to be true. I was like,
Exactly.
look, I'll be honest, like I felt like maybe you guys are just trying to push it, right? Like that's
Yeah.
okay, I get it. But for me, I'm coming in from the course. Let me see how I go from there. So my expectations were low. I was just like, let me just get in and get started, right?
Mhm.
And if this girl is as good as like if she says it's as good as it is, then we'll find out. Because for me, I like going through things and experiencing it for myself.
Yes. Mhm.
And boy, oh boy, they above and beyond. Like for starters, CV.
Mhm.
That was for me, that was one challenge. I was like, okay, fine, I've got the knowledge and all that. Like, how do I put it together? And like it was actually a this is kind of what you need to do. I'll send my CV to give me some feedback or change this, add this, and that really helped set that up. And then the next thing was, how do I actually apply for jobs? Like,
So
what
they
do
actually helped you apply for the jobs as well.
so with the jobs, I
Mhm.
did job applications, okay, but they guided me on how to go about like how, for example, there are tools that they use to help you optimize your CV,
Right, right.
meet job requirements and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
I can't obviously disclose so many things because that's
But
up.
they screened your CV, edited it, made it like job ready.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So then I started doing job application. Then the next thing was like a mock interview that they did. Phew, man, I was saying to him, I said, I've been to interviews and for the better part of, let's say for the past, what, 5, 7 years now, I've
Mhm.
never been in any interview that I'll go numb or not know what to say.
Mhm.
Right. Like somehow I'll be able to respond and, give a satisfactory answer.
Yeah.
But the grilling that these guys gave me, it got to a point that my network disconnected and I was thanking God. I was like, God, thank you. Because I felt like I was just fumbling, you get.
But that's what you need. So when you're in the real interview, you don't have that tension. Like you're ready for the questions that they're going to ask you.
That's exactly what I was going to. Yeah. And that did really help me with those all the right skills. Um,
Amazing.
because I've met other, and then after I started meeting other people that have done other training. And when I tell them like the experience I've been through, they're like, that's nothing close to what they've done. And they
What they
actually,
got.
yeah, and they've actually paid more and feel
But
like they're left alone at the end of the journey. Like, okay, good. Well
figure it
done.
out.
Have a good one, or wishing you all the best kind of thing. Like till date, like I've still got them on speed dial. Like your guys
Yeah,
will sit stranded,
that's
like,
good.
and they'll jump on the call or message or say, okay, let's catch up on this time. And I don't even know how they do it, to be honest, but
I think that was one of the things that drew me when Noah reached out to me, and I was like, this is what we need, first of all, because I
yeah,
had done a video where I was like, oh, this is what happens. You come into the country, everyone tells you it's just disability, it's just this, it's just that. No one gives us a job. Some people were fighting me. Who told you? We have professional jobs here. I was like, Uncle, I have professional job too. I'm trying to tell you not to limit yourself. That was the essence of the
yeah,
video. And
yeah,
I think if you have that heart to help, like, it's not just about, come pay me, do the course and to your tents. It's
that's right.
like we want to guide you. We actually want you to have that positive
Yeah,
experience and positive outcome,
yeah.
which then leads me to my next question.
Mhm.
I'm asking this one so that I know if I should send you my account number. So one of the don't laugh too much, don't laugh, because
Okay.
I can send it. Pay ID works here. Um,
All right.
now, one of
Mm.
the promises or one of the things he guarantees or almost like tells you, depending if it's entry level or whatever, is that you get a six-figure salary. So,
Yeah.
Uncle Jim,
Yes.
are you on a six-figure salary, sir?
Absolutely. I am.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I always wanted to tell you that you're a very wonderful person. And as the Lord blessed, you bless
Oh,
me.
JJ, you don't even have to say all that. You
Wow.
what you need to do is to just send the message. It's that. Don't worry about
So
it.
then that means, they got you what they said they would, and it's within
Absolutely.
that salary range. Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you,
No, no,
JJ.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, the good thing is it's a journey of discovery for yourself. I think initially you really need to know your why. You understand? I had a very strong why. Like my why was, in fact, the two branches were very, very strong. So
Okay.
that was very
You want to share what your why was, or is it personal?
um a few things. Yeah, well, I recently got married,
Mm-hmm.
so I want to spend more time with my wife, and obviously we spend about a year, and most times we travel a lot, so we
Yeah.
spend a lot of time away from each other, right? And what we
Oh,
realize is one day I'm on a flight, 6 a.m. I'm in New South Wales, and I'm wherever work is taking me, and I was on the road, like it was just so much risk, and just putting myself safety. And I just thought, look, that was great. That paid really well, but it wasn't, it was taken away from something else, right? And I'll come back maybe on Thursday or Friday. She'll come back on Friday. On Saturday, I might have a wedding because I'm emceeing. Sunday, we go to church. Before we even come back, we're planning for the next week. And
yeah.
that's like ongoing for over a year of just being married, right? So it was time for a change. And then other than that, like I've got my mom around, and she was like, I feel like I see you even more. We talk more whilst I was in Nigeria than now that I'm here. So
Um,
that began to hit me. And then I started thinking of, okay, let's say we have kids now, my wife gets heavy. Like, what happens? Is she going to be doing that journey by herself? And obviously from yourself, like the story that you shared with me, like, with Steady and you guys being together, was definitely inspiring because that meant that he was present to be able to support you through that
yeah.
journey. So, I
Yeah.
was thinking about that too and going, man, we've got to do things differently,
Of course.
So
Sorry. Mm. Okay, continue. We've got to do things differently. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So I was thinking we got to do things differently and just I think about the start setting up our life for success on what we want to do in the next 5, 10 years when we have kids. Do we want to be able to spend time with them and that quality time and have the option and flexibility around it?
That's
So
very beautiful. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm not cutting you short.
like that for me was a strong why. Like I was making the money, no jokes. Like it was really, really good. But when I weighed it ongoing, first of all, it wasn't sustainable.
Mm.
Second of all, it was a lot of health risk I was risking. thirdly, my health, I was also putting myself on physical risks, like the kind
Yeah.
of I travel
The
on.
driving, yeah, yeah.
Right? It was just not impossible to keep going like that. And
Yeah.
obviously, family that I would be missing, which those are things like you just can't get back. So, um,
What I love about what you're saying is something that resonates deeply, I think, in with people in diaspora generally,
yeah,
is time. You
yes,
find if I was gonna say if it's a one income household, but it doesn't matter. Two income, one income, everyone is just trying to hustle to make extra money to make their family
absolutely, yeah,
comfortable. And so
yeah,
you come back from work and then you're off to pick another shift and you're off
yeah,
to pick another shift. So just what you're demonstrating and what you're saying, what you're talking about
yeah,
is just having that work-life balance where
absolutely,
you're able to then spend time with family. When you
yeah,
have kids, for people that already have kids, a lot of people in diaspora are missing out on the growth of their children, of the family. It can get
yeah,
really lonely for the partner that stays home with the kids. So this
absolutely,
is just like all round, when you start thinking bigger picture, the
yeah,
benefits are just enormous. And I mean, the price is you can't pay that in school. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so valuable. Like you get
yeah.
your money's worth from everything. And I
Yeah.
guess that's my last question for you. Would you say that you got your money's worth on
Oh,
the
absolutely. Look, I don't think I don't want to say this. Obviously, they'll hear, and after this, they start charging more. But the thing is, to be honest with you, for the value of what you get is next to nothing, honestly. Um, and let me explain why. Firstly, you're doing a three months program. Go and check in TAFE how much it costs to do a 3 months program, any program, right? Most of them at least 5,000, 6,000. What do you get after that?
nothing? That's your
Well,
certificate.
you do get a certificate,
Yeah,
and then you do get some sort of support system, right? But when I talk about one-on-one coaching, one-on-one guidance, like this is now someone actively pushing for your win, your success,
mm.
right? That's not something you get anywhere. That's the honest truth.
Because
Like,
coaching in and of itself is a fee on its own.
yeah,
And you have the
absolutely.
training. But to combine both of them within something that's so affordable, yeah, no.
Exactly. So think of it as you may. In fact, that's why, in fact, put the fees out of the picture, right? The first thing is your why. Like, what are you looking for? What do you want to gain? It's from there that you actually begin to ask yourself, is this for me or not? Right? Because if you're already asking yourself, is this for me or not, or and you don't have a why, it's not just gonna work. So there's no, don't waste your time, don't waste no more time. Like just move on with your life. Like keep doing what you're doing if that works for you, right?
Mm,
As someone like myself, I knew that this is not what I wanted for life. And I had defined my why. So after I heard about it, it aligned with what I was looking for. So it was not like that was already there and I was trying to fit into it. No, I had what I wanted, which was I wanted more time. I wanted to still be in a good income. I didn't want to drop because that was the thing. I'm skilled in different industries. Like I've got a quantity surveying license. I can get into quantity surveying, but most of that you're starting on 75, 80K at the
yeah,
best, right?
yeah.
And before you're getting any increase or you get into that six figures, it's about 5 years, 7 years you're talking about. And I was like, nah, I'm not about that, right? And I knew the commitments that I had, so it wasn't just going to work. So coming back to the fees, I actually went down the flexible path. I went, look, guys, I don't have this box standing here. I
Mm,
would like to do it over time. And they're flexible enough to go, okay.
yeah.
Look, to be honest, they even pushed me a notch like, hey man, it's time for you to pay up, you know?
Mm,
And over time I did. But a point is that if you know that you're really keen for something different, then finance or whatever isn't shouldn't be the main bottleneck, right?
mm.
It's more of what am I getting out of this? Is it worth my time? That's the first question you should be asking. And if it's worth your time, you do it.
Yeah.
It's just what I'll say. And so like it's no brainer. It is absolutely worth the cost if the cost is what you're looking at.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much, Jim, for this. Thank you for your input. Thank you, because I know you've been very honest.
Yeah,
Guys, I don't know what else you want to hear. I think once you hear it from someone that has actually passed through the system,
yeah,
it just confirms everything that we've been talking about, in my interview with Noah. Now, remember the deal that they're giving my followers. You guys get to lock in your place with $500 for 2 years. That means you lock it in now. Let's say you're in school, you have a course you're about to finish, perhaps you are on a contract for a job and you want that to run out first, whatever the case may be, or you're flying into Australia and you want to do it when you get here, but you're going to be here in 6 months. Lock it in now and you can redeem it within 2 years. What that means is even if they increase the price, you still get it at 3K. And I can promise you, because the way we're gingering them like this, they will
Yeah, no, for sure.
no, because it's honestly it's a steal. So that's what they're giving my followers plus 5% off the fee. I mean, you guys, don't tell me I didn't put you on. When you guys start making that's $1,000 a day, 800. Please, my account number is free for all of you because this is a plug. I literally told Noah, I was like, look, this collaboration or not, I want you on the channel. This is something that will help my people, and you guys know over here we don't gatekeep. Anything that will help you get ahead, that's what we're trying to do. We're coming across by breaking that spirit of we don't want to tell anybody how we made it. No, we're going to talk about everything, and we're going to talk about very soon. We're going to talk about real estate, and we'll have Jim back on because this let me just get you guys excited. So when you say, and I say Jim, you must watch this if you want to buy a house in Australia. Trust me, you're gonna get gems. Okay? What else do I do? This is how I deliver. Okay. So thank you, Jim. Thank you for coming. You know we're gonna do this again, but thank you for your feedback and thank you for your review. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.